Okay, welcome back. We're up to turn 5. This is the 320, 340 turn. Yep, 340 turn. So this once again is Grand Havoc, Battle Perryville, Revolutionary Games. And we're up to turn 5. Getting very interesting here as the Confederate attack really is starting to have some effect on the first corps. And I've got this set up for the chits are in the bucket, and we're up to the artillery phase. And per what I've been doing, like the other videos, the chit markers here are artillery marked for what can move this turn or what can activate this turn, and take a shot over here as well. A couple things to note. I'll tip this down so you can see towards the town, and I apologize for the glare here. Let me try to move that a little bit. There we go. We do have Sheridan coming on because we're up to the point that Buell commits on the Buell alert track. So he can commit one brigade per turn. So he's committed McCook, and Sheridan's artillery has come along with it. So that means McCook can actually move, and so can Sheridan's artillery over here as well. We also have Powell and Smith, who were activated last turn, probably taking a couple of shots here as well. At Grizel, who's down here aiming for this victory hex over here. So that's a little bit of an update over there. So we're starting to see the southern half of the field coming into action. Buell is starting to be alerted, committing some brigades. Probably going to be piecemeal. We're only going to get one per turn unless he bumps up again and gets 2 per turn, which that would be quite nice because then we could get the rest of Sheridan's units going to help relieve some of the pressure that the northern half of the Confederate Army is doing, as well as push at Perryville itself. Because if the Union pushes at Perryville and grabs this victory hex, and then Perryville itself over here, sorry, as we just off camera, there we go, right here, then there's potential that they could win the game if they can capture the other turn-based victory conditions. So starting to see some more excitement here. So let's get started with the artillery phase. Now to the north we have several interesting artillery positions over here. Walker's unit Harris and Loomis here have some good shots. One, a canister shot on Cleburne's attacking unit. Harris up here doesn't have any shots over this way, but he could take shots down here at Johnson. We do have Starkweather's artillery up here, firing canister at Stewart, and the same with Terrill against Manny's units up there. So there's plenty of action going on up here. We also do have, from the Confederates' position, Manny can potentially fire into Union positions here as well as over here, Brown's stack and Wood's stack over here, as well as Cleburne just down here off camera. This might be the last turn that they'll be able to engage the Union, and they'll have to shift to face, shift, because they can still shoot up here, but now with these guys coming online, they're going to shift their battle over here, and probably Adams is going to need to support them a little bit. So let's get started. Union goes first. So I think we're going to start down here with this critical sector. We're going to take Loomis, and they're going to do a, let's see, can they? No, wait a minute. They're below. Okay, they can't shoot at them. Sorry, so that's a miscalculation on my part because they are not at the edge over there. So they can't see them. They can take some long shots over here. This guy up here, Webster's unit, can fire down in here as well because they're going along the slope line and they're on the edge of it. So let's see. Let's still take Liddell and see what he could do. Now he could fire across at level 5 units, but there's not much going on with them except the artillery, which is really long range. So I think we're going to have them hold fire, or do I want to have them? I don't want to give up the position, but I do want to make it tougher for the Confederates to try to attack up there. Well, let's just shift over here to Harris, and he has a shot. 1, 2, 3, possibly over here, which may be well, no, because he'll be the lead unit. So yeah, I think we'll go against the 48th Tennessee. So it'll be a 6 with a 1 shift due to firing over infantry. So it'll be down to a 5. Let's see what they get. 43. That looks a little bit low for a 3. 5. No, actually that's a routine against the 48th Tennessee. That comes a miss. So they missed. Or I should say the 48th absorbed that shot without any problem. Okay. So now for the Confederates, we could fire at McCook's units, which I think they will. So I'll tip you down here a little bit. We've got Cleburne firing at McCook's 82nd Illinois, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, range of 6. So they're going to be cut in half. So it's only going to be 4 firepower. They are shooting over woods. Now this is the same level to level, so 5. But they are firing over woods right here, so brings them down to a 3. But they're firing at a supported 2. So 34 seems a bit low, but 3. Yeah, that's going to be a miss. So they missed. All right, so not so exciting artillery so far. Back to the Union. I think we'll tip back up this way. So I want to get some of these ones that may be good, and then might stop it and do some of these lesser odd ones off camera. Starkweather firing at him. It's a canister shot, so that's going to be 7. It's going to go against top unit, 5th Tennessee. It's going to be down 1 for the stone wall. So 7, down 1 puts it on a 5. 5 column with a supported 5. 43. I don't think that's going to be enough, and no, it's not. So they missed. They're going to have to fire at somebody up above. I think they'll fire on Starkweather Hill up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not great because it's going to be a 3, and they are most likely firing over units. Let's just excuse my arm there. It's close. Yeah, it's cutting that hex. So they're going to be firing over units. So it's going to be 3 down to 2, and they're going to be hitting Terrill's units, which is going to be the artillery, which is going to be 4, supported 4. So 2 with a supported 4. Yeah, 32 is not going to do it. So they missed. Okay, so all the big ones are missing here. Yeah. What else for big artillery attacks? There's not much more. And some of the rest of this is going to be, oh, wait a minute here. I got one more. I've got Terrill himself that was just fired upon. They're going to fire upon Manny down here. Now they're going downhill, so it's canister range. So they're going to be 8. They're going to go to 12. And they're firing over the stone walls. Or no, this is canister, so the stone walls do count. In my rules, I'm counting any canister range stone walls as going in. But if they're shooting shot and shell, they'll fire over. So anyways, 12 down to 10. And they'll be firing at the top unit, which is a supported 5. 54 on a 10-11. A 5 is a routine. So they do get a hit. 54, that's a depletion and a retreat. So that stopped them. So they're depleted, and they have to retreat 1 hex back to there. Okay, so Terrill did his damage up there. So I had you just out of frame there. Yeah, he fired right here. Sorry about that. I had you slightly out of frame with that, and the dice camera was blocking that as well. But that was this attack up here. I think with the rest of them, particularly the Confederates, they're all going to be kind of lower odds attacks. And Union's going to be doing some movement, I think, with some of these here. So I think I'm going to, for you folks, just wrap up the artillery segment here. Yeah, not really exciting this time, just 1 hit. And I will finish off the artillery and then get into the chit pull. And once I get some exciting chit pulls, I will bring you back in. So we'll see you soon. With the chit pull section here, a couple things going on here. I've got one situation firming up over here where in prior chit pull, firefight came out for the Union, right there. And Terrill took a shot at Stuart Stack here with the 33rd Tennessee and the 4th Tennessee, and actually caused retreat to the 33rd Tennessee. So then the next chit we have is Jackson, and they successfully activated a brigade, and it's going to be Terrill. We're going to take another shot in here. So I thought this would be an interesting one over here. Terrill has 2 units left plus his artillery. The 88th Illinois, which is going to try to get 4th Tennessee out of there, and then also we have Garrards up here who'll take a shot at the 41st Georgia up there. They're going to activate with defensive. That means they can shoot, and then they'll have just limited movement and the possibility for rally. But the rally is not going to apply. Unfortunately, the units that could need to regroup. So let's take the shots at least and see how this plays out. So we've got 80th against the 4th Tennessee, right next door to each other. Now these are antique guns, which just have a range of 1, and even at that range, they're halved. So even though they have a combat strength of 13, they're actually reduced down to 6. They got a really lucky hit on the last one, which was good. I don't know if they can do it again. So it's going to be 6. They're going to be firing over a stone wall and into a cornfield, which is going to shift them down to the 4 column. So now the Stuart's 4th Tennessee is unsupported. So they're going to be an unsupported 3 on the 4 column. Roll a 1-3, and that is a miss. So that did not work out for Illinois. We'll take these guys up here, taking a shot. Now they're rifled, and they're 2 away, so they're going to be halved. So they go down to 2, plus they're going over a stone wall, which brings them to 1. Now Manny's 44th Georgia is a supported 2. All right, so they're going to be a 1, and they're a supported 2. So let's get those up. 61, that's going to do something. That's going to be a routine check for them. Now they're already depleted, so we'll see what they get. They get a 4, that's not a depletion. 1, that is a miss. So both shots actually missed them. I thought that would be a little bit more interesting, but just wanted to show you that little defensive combat there. As for movement, I think they're going to stay put where they are. They're in a pretty good defensive line right there, and as I said before, there's going to be no rally. So let me pull the next chit. It's going to be Buckner. So let's see what they get, and then figure out who's going to do something. Okay, they do get a successful activation. So this is Buckner. So this is Cleburne, Johnson, Liddell, and Wood. All right. Cleburne is in a good position to attack. Harris's units are in a tough position here. Now Johnson is a little bit depleted, but I'd like to get up the road a little bit here. Guy's going a little bit better. He's also got to watch his flank down here. Let me just tip you up a little bit. A little bit about of the decision making here. Probably be Johnson or Cleburne. Wood is in a good position. Could move up Liddell, but I want to keep the momentum on the attack. So it's going to be one of those two. We've also got to watch out for, because we've got McCook down here being able to activate here as well. Potentially move to flank Cleburne there. Hopefully we can get Adams, who's just off camera below here, into the mix as well. But I think it's got to be Liddell. So we're going to have Liddell move. Going to take off camera for that and bring you back with any other interesting moves a little bit later. Thanks for watching. Back again, and we're back with Terrill's unit. This time, a sudden charge by the 80th Illinois against the Stuart's 4th Tennessee. Now, they're already in position, so they're adjacent, so they will conduct a close combat. Now, Stuart will get, or the 4th Tennessee will get a shot off at them. It'll be on the 4 column, cross a stone wall, so it's going to go down to the 3 column. The 80th Illinois is a supported 2, so we'll see how this goes. 25 is a miss, so that's good for the 80th Illinois. Now they will attack on the 13 column. They'll have 3-to-1 odds, so it's a +3, but they will lose 1 for CR, because Stuart, even though it's unsupported, still has a higher. Or wait a minute here. Hold. They will have a 3 CR. 80th Illinois actually increases their cohesion, so that's equal. So they don't lose a cohesion. No, they don't lose a shift because of cohesion. They will lose 1 for small arms, so it's down to 2 shifts, and it's over a stone wall. So that will be another one down to 1 shift, but it's a spontaneous charge, so it's 2 shifts. So they will be on the 13, going up to the 17, 19. Now unsupported 3 for the 4th Tennessee. Roll a 45. That's going to be a tough result for the Tennesseans, 4th Tennessee. Roll a 3 and a 1. Now 3 is a BD, which is both disordered if there's not a 3-to-1 odds. There is, so it's just a D. So he will flip over, and then a 1 is retreat 1 hex. So he's going to have to go back into the cornfield over here. Alright, so there's the sudden charge. Now the Union could advance into the cornfield, but if he does, he'll be unsupported, so he's gonna stay put. So they pushed him back out of the cornfield, and was able to do some damage on them too. So Stuart's attack is kind of stalling up there a little bit. Next Chit. Ooh, Fortunes of War. Okay, next Chit pulled. Does not count. It's Jackson. So Terrill had moved, so it's going to be Webster that's not going to do anything, and that's going to be the end of Jackson's move. That's a little tough because Webster's kind of backstopping Lytle over here, and you know, he was going to do a little reserve movement, but it'll be okay, I think. Next one out, Buckner again. So let's see if Buckner can activate. He can. So now he's got Wood, Johnson, and Cleburne. Same group that we talked about before. Yeah, I think we've got to go with Johnson. I'll keep you on here with Johnson. Johnson's going to go into the attack. So I think we can manage something over here. It's going to be a little bit tricky. So Johnson's attacking. So first off, some shooting here. We'll start with these two here, ganging up against them. So it's going to be a 5 + 5 is 10. All right, shooting across the stone wall, so it's going to be down 1, so it's going to go to the 9 column. And there are supported 31, not great, 9 column, so it's a routine. Well, 2, 3, oh, but they do get a retreat. So they've got to go back, can't go here, can't go, you've got to go here, but they can't stay there. They've got to go west, or south or west, so that's west. So they've got to go over into here and stop, and they can do that. So Johnson actually knocked them out of there, which is good. Then any other shooting? No, 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 and no. Okay, so now we get some movement. Well, this is interesting because Johnson was able to push them out. The 2 units are going to climb over the wall to there. And then got to bring up this other good unit. 1, 2, 3 to there. Yeah, that's all that they can do. Should give him some support here as well, though. He's going to come up as well. Like that. He's kind of stuck there. He'll come up 1. Support the guns. I think that's it. So now the tough decision. Do they attack Harris, the 2nd Ohio? It'll be 10 to 9. It'll be 1 to 1. So there's no bonus there. They will get the smooth bores, but nothing for cohesion. They do get a shot at them on the 9 column. It's a tough attack, but because they're going to shoot back at him. They're going to shoot back at him. Yeah, I think we got to go with it. So they're going to do it. So first shot, this guy Harris is going to shoot, or 2nd Ohio is going to shoot at them. 9 column. That's where it is. 23 on the 9 column is pretty much a miss. So now the close assault. It'll be, this will be the lead unit. He will be 5 column. Odds are the same. Cohesion is the same. They do get the smooth bore bonus, so 1 shift. No fences. No, just a 1 shift. So it's on the 6 column, and there are 4. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, it's a good one. 62 on the 6 column. There are 4. It's a routine. Close combat routine. 33. Nothing on depletion, but he has to retreat 2 hexes. So he'll have to go back 1, 2 to there. Or it could go 2 to, it could go 1, 2 to there. I think I gotta go there. Alright. So Johnson can potentially move up. It's gonna be a tough battle, but I don't think I'm gonna have him move there because they're gonna be right under the guns, and I don't want them to be blasted within there. So that is it for Johnson. All right, I'll keep you going here. Again, see if something interesting comes up. And we got Sharpshooter. Well, I think we'll take the shots. 17th Tennessee will continue that. There'll be a 5 Cornfield brings it down, but flanking fire brings it up. So it's going to be on the 5 column. 44 on the 5 column. That's a 1 to 4 as a routine. So I think these are both the same. Yeah. So it'll be the top unit, which will be the lead unit. And it's routine, so that's a 5. Ooh, depletion. So that's going to force a break test on them. They're a 3. They're a 1. So they're going to take a morale hit. They don't break, but they do take a morale hit here. So they're down a little bit. Okay, so that was a sharpshooter coming out. Let's see what else is next. So far, the attacks are still pushing hard by Confederates, and it's Buckner again. I've activated Johnson. We just got Cleburne and Wood. So we activate, take Cleburne defensively here. I'm only going to be able to recover 1, unfortunately, but they're going to take some shots. First off, both of them can shoot up here on the hill. Actually, I can combine them all because they're next to each other. So that would be 9 plus 10, 19. But they're 2 away, so they're going to be halved. So it's going to move down to 9.5. They are in the cornfield, which will shift it down 1 to go to down to 6, 7. They're supported. At this point, it's going to be the other unit, because these guys are now reduced by 1 strength. So this guy's going to be the lead. He's still supported by that guy over there. So he's a supported 3. So it's a 6, 7. Supported 3 shot. 33. 6, 7, 33 is a routine on him. Routine 44. It's not a depletion, but it is a retreat 1. So he will have to retreat 1. He can go over here, like so. So now our movement, he's going to go 1, 2 over the fence and into there. He's going to go 1, 2 into there. And he is going to remove his shaken marker. Hopefully you can see all that. Sorry if I didn't have that angled enough. But basically they just shifted to the southwest and he recovered over here. What I'm doing is kind of building hopefully an avenue of advance for Wood to come up and attack while covering, having Cleburne cover what appears to be coming up the road, or across the creek, I should say, right here with McCook and Sheridan. So we'll see how that works out with that. Put Buckner back in, so that's Cleburne. And we're going to come up with the next one, Sheridan. So this is where we're going to get McCook going, potentially, and he does, is McCook right in this line over here. And he'll be able to move up. Now, one of the things I'm thinking about with them, kind of relieving the pressure up here a little bit. So I'm going to activate them. They're going to maneuver, and they're going to go 2, 4, 6. And they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go 2, or 1, 3, 5. And then let's see, where's the other one? 1, 2, 3, 4 to there, like that. Kind of put some back pressure on Buckner and Cleburne. Buckner again, so this is going to be Wood's activation. If he does, and he does. So the stacking works out. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. They're going to maneuver, if I didn't make that clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can go into the air because that's move Wood up for the attack, and that is all of Buckner. Okay, bringing you back for the end of the turn here. Not a lot of excitement here. A couple little things here that I'll point out, but you can see where everything's at the end of 4 p.m. turn. So up here we have Cleburne, Wood, Johnson, all positioned to push. Harris and Littell with backup of Webster trying to hold the line like this. You can see over here, where are we? But there's a little bit of a issue for these guys over here. E.McCook is coming to the rescue of his brother's corps and moving up Doctors Creek. Sheridan has positioned artillery here and here to support that over in here. So this is going to get interesting over in this area. Wood is positioned for a nice attack. At the end of the turn, Brown came up, tried to attack over here, and actually pushed back Harris's unit there, depleted them as well. Jones opted to recover units and move up to get in better position. That Donaldson unit that was beat up here a little bit, beat up a little bit more as Harris was able to get some shots on him and deplete him and force him to retreat, back over here as well. In terms of Cheatham's replacement up here failed on Stewart, so that didn't happen. Didn't move. Manny, as we saw, it was just defensive. Starkweather is about the same. Terrill is about the same. Although Terrill did have his artillery force back by Manny's unit here, the Georgian unit, with a shot. So that leaves them a little bit depleted for artillery up there, but they're still holding a pretty solid line over here. As I said, the tricky part is going to be here and here for reserves. Also with McCook coming up, that's going to get interesting. From the victory points standpoint, we've got 8 Union victory points to the Confederates 5. All right, that's for the turn-to-turn victory points. If I added in the losses, still we've got 2, 3, 4, 5. So they actually have 10 to 8, if we look at it that way. Not counting the end of game victory hexes over there. So it's still fairly even in terms of the victory points. One big thing that's come up, Buell has raised his commitment level. He's now committing 2 whole brigades this turn, okay, for each turn going forward right now. So we've already committed 1. McCook will probably commit Leibold down here, and Grizel, just to keep unit cohesion. So that'll give Sheridan's full units to potentially push against them. You can see over here Adams has kind of strung himself out supporting the guns up here, Cleburne and his guns up here as well as coming up here with a couple of units to potentially blunt McCook from doing much damage behind Cleburne and Wood over here. Powell down here, and Grizel and Leibold had moved up here on a brigade initiative role, so they're all in good position to do something. But now that we're going to get 2 more, as I said, we'll probably get these 2, and then next turn we'll at least get some of I think Mitchell, is it? Yeah, Mitchell down here. His units. He's got Gooding, Carlin, and Caldwell probably them next, followed by Schaff after that. And then, of course, we still have the whole second corps off map here to come in as well, so they'll be coming in. So it's going to get a little tricky, particularly down here on the southern side. I'm not sure the Confederates have pushed far enough along here. Obviously, they didn't get Starkweather Hill. They did get Squire Bottom's house, but the Union has firmed up here quite well. But next turn will be a new turn, and it will be interesting to see what happens there. So that's it for turn 5. That's 4 p.m. turn. We'll move on to wait a minute here. Is it 4 p.m. turn? Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, it was the 3:40 turn, and now we're moving on to the 4 p.m. turn. I messed that up. So there we have it, and we'll see you on the 4 p.m. turn. Thanks for watching. Okay, welcome back to Grand Havoc, Battle of Perryville for the 161st anniversary of the battle. Playing with the Revolutionary Games Blind Sword system here. We're up to turn, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn 6, 3:40 p.m. Made a mistake in the last video there in terms of the times. I did correct it with subtitles on there, but just making sure I get it right this time. It's 3:40 p.m. turn 6 here in the afternoon of October 8th, 1862. So where we're at now is turn 6. I put the chits in the cup. You can see I've got the little poker chips on the artillery, and we're at that phase here right now. A couple of additions here with turn 6. Because Buell is now committed to 2, that's 2 brigades per turn, that to remove from hold, or release from hold. That gives us some options here, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. Our artillery to the north, pretty much the same thing as we've had before. We've got some canister shots by the Union up here. We've got some movement by the Confederates to help support their attack up here as well, which we'll get to in a minute. But the bigger thing with the artillery is to the south here. Two things. One is that Sherman's 2 artillery batteries now can get into play, and they'll be firing across here, probably at Adams and maybe the artillery up here, you know, to try to hit them, because we've got Leibold here. Let me move that up for you. There we go. We've got Leibold here, who's very good in terms of cohesion, moving up to potentially attack over here as well. So we'll get some of that. So that's going to give Cleburne and what was that? Adams artillery a little bit of thought, you know, within there. Powell still can keep Grizel in check. We have Smith over here who's holding the town as well. And then the other piece of it, if I take you way down here, and this is the big thing, is that we have one of the 2nd Corps brigades coming up, Matthews, right here. Hopefully you can see them right there. Yep, there you go. It's a little bit better lighting. Right here, they're coming on. They can come on Hexar 2800 and to the west. They'll try to loop around here, but that has also now triggered Wheeler to appear over here as well, and try to protect this victory hex for the Confederates. Or first off, take the victory hex and then protect it over here for them. So we've got a little bit of movement over in there as well. So that's where we are with the turns. The Union is starting to realize that there's something going on here, and they better get their act together and get the 2nd Corps and the 3rd Corps moving. So the two ones that released are going to be Matthews and Leibold. McCook is already released up here. So that should prove very interesting in terms of how the battle plays out. So let's get to some artillery here. Going to do ones I think are going to be critical, and then kind of move on from here. So first one I think we're going to take is Harris up here. He's got a canister shot at 3 different units. Brown, Jones, and Johnson. Now Johnson's supported, Jones is not, Brown is not. So I think Harris is going to fire at them. That's going to be a 5. Canister range pushes them to 7. That's about it. So it's 7 with an unsupported 2. Yeah, 3 down to 1. Down 1 is 2. So he's on the 7 with an unsupported 2. 36 on the 7 is a routine. And 2-6 is going to get a morale hit. No depletion, but a morale hit and retreat 2. So that pushes back Jones a bit. So they take a morale hit. Where did they go? Where did they go? They have to go west to north. So they've got a morale hit, so there's still a 7 though. So they can go 1 to there, and they'll go into Brown's hex, I think, for 2. Whatever that infantry unit is down there. Okay. Oh, there's not much left here, I think. So yeah, I'm not sure if we'll get any more significant hits. So I'm going to do the rest off camera, and then pull you back with anything that looks significant with the Chit pull, and kind of go from there. So that's the beginning of turn 6 with the artillery phase. Well, welcome back to the end of turn 6. I didn't bring you on as much as I wanted to in this because it's a little strange, kind of a lull type of turn with the way that it worked out. The Union kind of picked up most of the beginning Chit draws in terms of events and activations. So consequently, they were able to do some defensive actions that were fairly successful, particularly up here with Liddell and Harris. They were able to take some shots and knock back Cleburne and Johnson, as well as to hold off Wood's counterattack, or subsequent attack, I should say, to try to take Harris's position up here. So they were able to provide some kind of fire that broke up the attacks before they could even get started on here. So there's a number of those like that. So they've kind of like, oh, these are just defensive turns, probably not going to be much coming from them, but they wound up being fairly significant. So that's why I didn't really have you on there with everything. But I figured I'd round you off here and show you where we are. So also in the north, we still have Starkweather and Terrill's line up here, holding quite well. Stewart failed activation, couldn't move, they just stayed where they were. In fact, out of all of Cheatham's, I think Manny activated. Smith did not activate, and the other one is Donaldson. He failed to activate as well. So there's 3 out of 4 that failed to activate this turn. Manny did kind of consolidate his units over here, trying to go for the flank over here, trying to go for that weaker spot. Kind of coordinating with Wharton up here, who's trying to get on the flank of Gay cavalry, Union cavalry, up there as well. Hopefully Stewart can kind of fill in and lock those in if Manny can get around here as well. But a lot of the center, Jones, Brown, Donaldson, all 3 of those did not really offensively activate. Like I said, Donaldson failed, Brown failed, Jones regrouped, was able to recover this unit. There's one morale marker under there that needs to be taken off, but he was too close to start with his units over there as well. Johnson actually, his units actually took the first Confederate casualty. 25th Tennessee was lost. Wound up on the broken 3 track, then on the broken 2 as we end the turn. And they were pushed back over here. Same thing with Cleburne. They were up here, got shot from front, behind, had to fall back over here. Biggest loss was this over here. The 13th, 15th Arkansas, the big heavy brigade that was right in the middle of the attack, was depleted. They're now a 6. They were an 11-5. They're now a 6-4. They did have a morale hit too, but they were able to recover that in the defensive orders segment there as well. So we've got Johnson kind of poised over here. We've got a few of these who have recovered. Kind of, like I said, there wasn't a lot of offense on here. Right? It was kind of a lull. The Union kind of took advantage of that in the south by moving units up, particularly down here with McCook moving up here, and right below him, so move the camera down here, we've got Leibold here, who was able to move into Bull Run and be able to position for an attack on Sandbottom Hill. So he's positioned over here. All of these units back here are still held, but the Union was able to get a brigade initiative and get another one of the 2nd Corps moving, Hawkins, move up here along with Matthews to try to put pressure on the southerly side of Perryville. Wheeler moved up to defend that victory hex. They've taken it now, and hopefully can hold that on. We'll see. Down south here, there's only 2 brigades, Powell and Smith, holding this off. Then you've got Adams, kind of, but Adams kind of has to provide the bridge between the main force and the and these units. So it's going to be tough because there's going to be a whole corps coming across here soon enough to attack Perryville from the south. So that's going to be a tough situation for the Confederates. If they capture this hex, and knock them out of Squire Bottom, the Union has an automatic victory. So it's going to be a tough one for the Confederates, because I think the Union will have the advantage of numbers to be able to break into at least these 2 hexes. Squire Bottom is going to be a little bit trickier, but hopefully 3rd Corps can move up with the rest of these units and potentially counterattack within there. So I'm not sure if this is the Confederate high tide or not. I think it's more the fact kind of a lull here, right in the middle of the game, turn 6, 3:40 p.m. And you know, kind of regrouping for the attacking Confederates, and then the Union finally getting their act together and getting units moving. So that's the end of turn 6, 3:40. We're moving on to turn 7. Victory points, forgot to mention that. We're up to turn victory points, 10 for the Union, 6 for the Confederates. If you add in the casualties so far on the broken track and losses, it's 11-11 with victory points, and not counting the end victory point hexes over there as well. So count those in, it skews it quite a bit. So I'd leave those off for now, just because those can potentially change hands across here very quickly. So with that kind of gives you a summary of turn 6. If you're liking these videos, please hit that like button. Comments appreciated. Thoughts, ideas, anything like that, it's always appreciated. And hope you're liking this, and you'll be on there for the next one. And if so, we'll see you on turn 7.